Probably the most recognizable train car in the world is the caboose. The name caboose was likely borrowed from a seafaring term for ship's galley or kitchen. Officially known as cabin cars, cabooses transported freight train crews who watched the train from the rear, who made sure the rear of the train could be seen, who observed conditions on the railroad, and who coupled and uncoupled cars at yards and sidings. Not all cabooses are red, but red is the traditional color of cabooses because the color red is visible from long distances. In the 2020s, it is unlikely that you will see a caboose on the end of a train. Modern railroads have no need for cabooses. These beloved freight cars are now only used in very specialized operations.
When I was about 5 years old, my parents bought me this caboose, probably for 50 cents. It was an old train like my dad's, but my very own. It's a very common Lionel 657 caboose from the late 1930s. Given the ups and then the downs of the train hobby over the past 50 years, this caboose is now not worth many more multiples of 50 cents. But if nothing else, this little caboose has a great deal of sentimental value. Now I'm going to take you up from a common caboose to a rare caboose. With this, we enter what is, for most train people, a different universe. This is an O-gauge caboose made in the early 1910s. Antiquity is one thing going for it, but trains from the 1910s are not per se that rare. This caboose was made by Marklin, a German company that can be said to be the Mercedes-Benz of toy trains. Marklin has a long, illustrious history and a worldwide fan base. Unlike the Lionel and other common cabooses we're going to see, which are held together by tabs and were quick to mass produce, this caboose is all soldered together. It's totally handmade. And then except for the numbers and letters, it's all hand painted. All the handwork made this a relatively expensive item when it was new. It was probably sold by a fine toy store, such as FAO Schwarz. It also has play value things like opening doors. This is a stove. On this bench were two crew members, but they went out to the Rusty Rail Saloon and the train left without them long ago. Here is another Marklin caboose, also from the 1910s. Marklin items, by the way, have this trademark on the bottom. It looks like a badge, and also, of course, the country of origin. This model was passed down in a family and kept in their Victorian house in Portsmouth, New Hampshire for over 100 years. And this caboose was based on a real caboose that was used on cattle trains. I guess the cowboys would put their gear up in this compartment. While these rare and valuable cabooses are among my favorites, a lot of cabooses that I like are very common. One is this Made in America Marx caboose with Marx's Marlines logo. I think it's a really nice looking cabin car, even if it's no Marklin. I have a lot of respect for Marx. It's very well made and their printed metal can be really beautiful. It's not handmade. There are a million of these mass produced. All these details were printed on flat metal sheets which were cut, folded, and tabbed together to make the body. Other nice looking and generally common and inexpensive cabooses are the Lionel models of the Pennsylvania Railroad Type N5 cabin car. These were made in the 1940s, a couple of years before World War II, a few years after World War II. Found in brown and red, Lionel's N5s have different catalog numbers, different levels of detail and features. Some variations are harder to find. This pre-war model has couplers on both ends for switching. So here we have some cabooses, common and rare. If there's one thing that you should take away from this video, it's that Marx is not Marklin. This is not this.